Hi guys, it's Arielle. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys are all doing well. If you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe, and if you do like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Whether you love the French language, or you're moving here in the near future, or you just want to impress that cute French guy with some cool lingo, keep watching because today we're going to be talking about 10 really important slang words that you need to know before you move to France. It's crazy because as an Anglophone, no matter what French class you take, no one is ever going to teach you these words. For years, whenever my French teachers asked for feedback, I was always like, could you teach us some slang? And they were like, no, that's not on the curriculum. And I'm like, but why? It's literally so important because the reality of the situation is when you're in school, when you're at work, people don't use like regular plain Jane French. There's all sorts of slang sprinkled into everyday talk. So the words that we're going to be talking about today are not words that I've learned in class, but they're words that I've learned from my colleagues, from my friends, from my friends' French families. The words we're going to talk about today are words that you'll hear all the time in France, and slang is honestly such an important topic to discuss because you could be so fluent in a language and then boom, you get to French class and everyone's talking and you could understand like maybe 50% of what is going on because the other 50% of the language that French people are speaking is just slang. Anyways, I digress. Enough chit chat. Let's get right into our first word. The first word I have for you guys is Keef. Basically, this word is slang for when you really like something. And honestly, you can use the word Keef with like anything, with food, with like talking about another person, with talking about how you felt about something. You can say, je te kiffe, I like you, and it doesn't even have to be romantic. You could say it about like a friend, like, je te kiffe trop. You can also use Keef as a verb for like saying that you liked something. Like, for example, how was the movie? Ah, j'ai trop kiffé. Ah, I loved it. And you could use it to describe how someone feels about you. For example, how was your date? Le mec il m'a trop kiffé. You know, the guy, he thought I was so cool. Personally, I use Keef all the time when I'm talking about something like that I just had fun doing. Like, all the time I'll be like, ah, je l'ai trop kiffé. The second slang word that you guys should know is Fleek. And this is basically the slang for police. It's like in English if you ever say like popo. Fleek is like a more cool version of slang for policemen. In a sentence, you could use it like, whoa, attention, y a les flics là-bas. You know, to warn someone the police are over there. You could also say, je viens d'être arrêté par les flics. Ah, the police pulled me over. It's funny because the word fleek is used like all the time right now because in France, like in order to leave the house at certain times, you have to have an attestation, and if you don't have an attestation, you could be like fined by the police. And so I feel like I'm hearing the word like police all the time, like fleek, fleek, fleek all the time. The third word you need to know, or rather series of words that you need to know, are basically what you're gonna call your friends. So we've got 4. We've got meuf, mec, frère, and gros. So let's go through the first one, meuf. The English version of meuf is probably like girl, like exactly with that tone. The word meuf is also a special type of slang called verlan, and verlan is a type of slang where you inverse the syllables. So the word woman in French is femme, and so meuf is the verlan of femme because it's femme but syllables reversed. Femme, meuf. Basically, this is what you're gonna call your girlfriends. So, for example, if you come to school one day and your friend is like, ah, how was your weekend? You can be like, meuf, j'ai trop kiffé. Kiffé, like, I had such a good weekend. The point is you're addressing your friend with meuf. You would also use it the same way as like girl if your friend says something like stupid or ridiculous, where you're just like, girl, what? You'd be like, meuf. Now, the second word in this group, mec, is basically like meuf, but for guys. It's like dude in English. So you could be like, mec, tu viens? Dude, are you coming? It's just a casual way to address your male friends. The third word, frère, and this one is kind of like bro, but most of the time when you use it, it's like really heavily exaggerated. It's like, if you could imagine yourself rolling your eyes at someone, this is what you would say. If someone says something ridiculous, you'd be like, frère. Like if my girlfriend was 3 hours late to a party, I'd be like, frère, get over here. The fourth and final word in this whole group is the word gros, and it's kind of like frère in the sense that people use it when they're like emphasizing the person they're talking to. Like if you have this really exciting thing that happened to you, like you ate the biggest croissant in your life, you could be like, gros, mais écoute, je me suis éclatée avec un croissant hier. Like, you're emphasizing, like, gros, like, listen up, dude. I feel like if a French person watches this video, they're gonna be like, Arielle, you are just way too enthusiastic and emphatic about these words, which is probably right. Please keep in mind that I'm North American, okay? I come with enthusiasm, which is very different from French people. Anyways, moving along to the fourth slang word that you should know is the word relou. And relou is the same sort of slang as meuf, virulent, where you're inversing the syllables. So relou is basically slang for lourd. Lourd, relou. And you basically use the word relou to talk about something or someone that is annoying. If someone was like, hey, you going to that party this weekend? You could be like, non mais meuf, trop relou, je dois travailler ce weekend. Girl, it's so annoying, I have to work this weekend. Or my personal favorite, you could use it to describe someone. Have you ever been in a class where the teacher's just like, oh, well, that's all. If there are no other questions, then you guys are free to go to lunch early. And you're all just like ready, you're putting your bags away. And then this person puts up their hand and they're like, actually, no, I have questions. And then you're forced to sit there and you can't go to lunch early. Yes, that is someone who, in my opinion, would be relou. I would turn to my friend and I'd be like, oh my god, mais il est trop relou. He's so annoying. Moving along, the sixth word that you should know, I guess, or letters, would be Biji, which means bogus. In English, this would probably be the equivalent to cutie. Like, you're such a cutie. Most of the time that I've heard this used, it's like done ironically, where like, let's say your guy friend goes and gets this ridiculous haircut and you see him for the first time and you're just like, oh my god, quel bégé. Or let's say you're going to a party and this guy's mom wants him to dress like all cute and snazzy and he shows up at the party with like a suit and like a button-up shirt and he looks good, but you just like know that his mom dressed him. You can be like, ah, bogus. And I mean, when I say it's used ironically, it's also if like really you do look good. Like, let's say your friend looks like homeless 95% of the time and then one day they show up to this party and they are looking damn fine and you're just like, ah, BG, damn son, like you look good. You know, it's kind of like that. The next word is like one of my favorites. It is the word phlegm. Phlegm is just like, I'm lazy. Like, I'm too lazy to do it. Let's say you're sitting in class and your teacher assigns you like a 50-page essay and you turn to your friend, you could just be like, j'ai trop la flemme, trop la flemme. I am way too lazy for this. You could also just use it as a one-word sentence. Let's say you're at a friend's house and they're just like, all right, let's get some groceries so we can start cooking dinner, and you're sitting on the couch and you're just like not about to get up and move and help them do groceries. You could just be like, flemme, flemme. You know what I mean? Like, flemme, I'm too lazy, like not now. I'm almost forgetting you can also use this word as a way to describe someone who is lazy. Let's say your teacher's like, okay, group work time, and you're like looking for a partner and you look over at the kid who doesn't have a partner left and you're just like, il est trop flemmard, je vais pas travailler avec lui. He's too lazy, no way am I working with him. Okay, eighth word that you guys should know is se casser. Basically, this is a way of like saying, I'm leaving. Let's say you get in a fight with your parents and you're just like, that's it, I've had enough, I'm leaving. You'd be like, je vais me casser. You could also use this less aggressively. Let's say you're at work and it's Friday and you're just like, I just want to go home. You could turn to your colleague and be like, je vais me casser. I'm out. Okay, the next word is a word that I probably use in every other sentence, so listen up, it is so important. It is the word ouf, which is, again, virulent like meuf and relou. It's ouf, which is fou, but backwards, fou, ouf, ouf, fou. Essentially, it just means like crazy. Literally, anywhere you could put the word crazy, you just say oof. You could say it about something that happened, like if someone asks you, how was the Eiffel Tower? You could be like, meuf, c'était ouf, mais c'était magnifique, la vue, tout Paris était illuminé, c'était ouf. Crazy. You could also say it about someone, like let's say you just saw a guy rob a bank at gunpoint, you'd be like, il est ouf, he's crazy. Crazy. I mean, honestly, I just use the word oof to describe literally any story that ever happens in my life. Like, if my plants grew a couple centimeters in a week, I'd be like, mec, c'était ouf, ils ont trop grandi. Crazy, they grew so much. I just personally love to use it with absolutely everything. Like, again, I exaggerate every single thing. I guess you could say I'm oof. Also, now that I'm thinking about it, like, when you use ouf to describe someone, it doesn't just mean like they are crazy in a negative way, it could also mean like they're crazy in a good way. Let's say you're skiing with your friend and he just like, you know, he goes over 55 moguls at 100 kilometers an hour. You would just be like, il était ouf! What? He's crazy! Like, that's crazy what he did. Like, you know, it's not just crazy in terms of like bad, but it can also be like crazy as in like, how did he do that? Alright, now the 10th and final word for all you singles out there, myself included, is the word draguer. Draguer is basically like flirting with or like hitting on. Let's say you're out for drinks with your girlfriend and the waiter is hitting on your friend and he leaves. You'd be like, meuf, mais il t'a trop dragué. You could also be like talking about how your night went. You can turn to your friend and be like, du coup, t'es rentré avec James hier soir? Did you go home with James last night? And your friend could be like, ouais, il m'a dragué toute la soirée. Yeah, girl, he flirted with me all night. So yeah, basically it just means flirting. It's a fun way to be like, oh, we were flirting. So yeah, that was number 10. That is all I have for you guys today. I hope these words were fun. I hope they're useful. I hope they will help you integrate into French society when you move here and help you drague the cute guy at the bar. If you guys have any questions, let me know down below in the comments. If you have any other words you want to add to this list, please leave them also down below. If you're a French person that wants to critique the way I use these words, please be gentle with my feelings. And if you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That is all for me. I will see you guys in my next video.